Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat, and today we are looking at the third Titanic Commander. We are of course talking about one of the founding members of the Blackbeard Pirates, Van Auger, and this is a very cool figure. We've got another figure of Van Auger, and his gun is irreprehensibly bent. It's just the way that figure comes. I don't think there's any way to fix it. But of course, with the premium version, we have one where the gun is actually straight. And this is a much nicer, much more profound figure than the other Van Auger that we've got. He uses the Wapu Wapu no Mi, that's his devil fruit. And that allows him to teleport himself and teleport others, but in order to teleport someone else, he has to actually be touching them. And of course, with being the sniper of the Blackbeard Pirates, this guy is 100% going to be in a sniper battle against Usopp. And the leading theory is what's going to happen is that Van Auger is going to basically teleport like islands away and shoot at Usopp and then teleport away, and Usopp is going to have to use the not armament hake, not conqueror's hake, what's the other one? Observation hake. He said forgetting what observation hake is. He's going to have to use observation hake to see where Van Auger is going to teleport to and actually have to snipe across different islands in order to hit this guy. And that is what is going to be the ultimate test of skill for Usopp taking on Van Auger. And it might be the thing that actually puts him as the actual Sniper King himself. And it might be the thing that pushes him over the point of being a better sniper than his father Yasopp, who is part of Shanks's crew. So here he is. There is Van Auger. And you can see that he permanently has the one thing over his eye that has the crosshair on it. Oda said that Usopp's big long nose, his big long snout, actually makes him a natural for being a sniper, because the length of his nose actually allows him to use that as basically a target. When aiming with anything, he uses the point of his nose to, show where he's going to aim, like the same way that Van Auger has his little, is it called reticules, on the on his sniper cannon, that Usopp can do the same thing with slingshots and such, because he already has the nose being there to show where he is going to aim at. So I think that is rather quite hilarious, if that is what that is. I'm just going to centralize Van Auger there a little bit. And yes, here we are. I would be very surprised if Van Auger does not fight Usopp in the end. It seems that they are natural enemies of one another, and it seems like that would be just such a perfect battle of showing off who is realistically the greatest sniper. Is it going to be Usopp, or is it going to be Van Auger in the end? Also, with Van Auger having the added ability of being able to teleport, means that there could be an awful lot of shenanigans. And also Van Auger is no slouch himself, and seems to be an incredibly dangerous sniper in his own right, even without his devil fruit abilities. And let's take a little closer look at Van Auger here. And you can see just the detail in him. One of the things that I'm a little bit surprised at is the little reticles here on the gun. They're all just like painted just one solid color. And I don't know if that's the way that they are in the actual manga or the anime, but I would have assumed that those were probably supposed to be clear. They were supposed to be glass. And I would have suspected they would put a little bit of paint on it the same way that they've done with Van Auger's eye. But maybe I am the one that's wrong, because there is a tremendous amount of detail across here. Although you can see that the trigger has been sort of filled in, that it's not just a little base trigger part there. And maybe that is just part of the production. Maybe that's just something that they needed to work with. Maybe they can't make it as perfect as what they want it to be. But I really like the look of the cape here. They've got the hair down perfectly, and even the little scratches for the goatee of Van Auger, and they've perfectly managed to encapsulate Van Auger's look, you know, of his character, particularly in his face, that he's just like, whatever. And that is going to be it for this little video, folks. I really hope you've all enjoyed, and if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so that you can see when more of these glorious little videos go out. And we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.